First one that we have is the ones with stinging hairs. Wasps. Then we have stinging hairs. We've got that worms. Okay. Bees. Who was ever stung by a bee? I'm always waiting for people with a mupani worm. That's the most interesting. This is a mupani worm. Okay?
But they cook them, don't they?
Yeah, but now the mupani worm is completely, if you don't know the insects, you don't eat them. But if you do know, she knows a mupani worm. That's why I put the mupani worm. Mupani worm has got contrasting colors that I'm going to share with you now, and it's got stinging hairs. And still people eat it. It's still a worm. It's nice. It tastes like fat. It tastes like fat from a biltong if you eat it. Yeah. Any stings? So now, well, if you look at nature as well, and you also, when we did our survival courses, well, I told us stay away from stinging insects. Because now you're hungry and you see the bees. You want to go and get some honey out from the bees. You're going to die. Especially with African bees. You will die. They will kill you. So you stay away from stuff that's got stings. You get anaphylactic shock, the same with wasps. How many of you have been stung by wasps and bees? Not nice, eh?
My dad is extremely allergic.
Exactly.
Mine has gone up.
So now you stay away from this stuff. Okay. So now if you get stung by any of these, there's quite a few plants that you can use, depending on what areas you are. I got stung by wasps. I was fiddling around. I'm always fiddling around somewhere. We do metal detecting and all kinds of stuff. So I went into an old farmhouse, went through the door, wasps, and they nailed me. These big ones. Afterwards, and I was alone. I didn't have anybody with me because I got a tendency to go into the veld by myself. And you always drag people around with you, so I want to go and do my own thing. So they stung me, and I was actually running away from them, and actually I counted about 15 stings on my body, these big wasps, big ones. And I'm not allergic to those poisons. While I was walking, I could feel my throat actually closing up. And it was so funny, when I was walking towards the house, there was 2 donkeys eating grass. I'm like, you eating grass, eh? Is it nice? Eh? I'm eating a steak, blah, 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 all kinds of stuff. I'm keeping them, talking nonsense with them. So I think this donkey just thought this guy's crazy. When I was running back, away from the wasps, I knew what plant to use that's an antihistamine. I started eating it right next to the donkeys. So I think this donkey's had a sense of humor, and I thought, okay, maybe he's eating with me. And you can look in your book, the plant that's an antihistamine is Lipia, like lips. Lipia javanica. This plant, Lipia javanica, it's in your book.
Page 190.
Page 190. Okay, that saved my life. If it wasn't for that plant, I would have died. Because it's an antihistamine. And I knew my plants. That is why I knew. While I'm walking in the veld, I always look at my plants and I'm like, I've got my own medicine chest right there in the veld. This grows everywhere.
Yeah, this.
In the veld, you find it.
An orange flower as well.
No. You're thinking of a lantana. It nearly looks like a lantana. This is a Lipia. The Lipia grows in grasslands. You find it all over the Free State. You find it here in the bushveld, everywhere. Yeah. Lipia javanica. It's a beautiful plant.
But it's interesting that it doesn't say antihistamine. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why, but it's definitely an antihistamine. Yeah. Well, that saved my life.
And how did you use it?
Just took a handful of leaves and just chewed it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You didn't swallow it?
Yeah, the juice.
Okay.
Yeah, you swallow the juice and you spit out the leaves. Yeah. So that actually saved my life. So when you get stung by any of these stuff, activated charcoal is not going to help you. You have to get an antihistamine because your body is making histamines.
Well, we were over December, we went to Haydenburg, and one of the guys that came with us we literally arrived at the cabin, and the guy was stung by a bee. Luckily, my husband, we always travel with like a first aid kit,
okay.
and we actually had like tablets.
Antihistamines.
But it only started to work. I mean, like Haydenburg, there's no hospital.
I know, Haydenburg, yeah. It's like,
you have to go
there's nothing.
Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I mean, we drove really fast, but it only started to work like as he was coming to the hospital, like
Yes.
20 minutes later. And but I mean, silly, he knew he was allergic to bees, didn't have an EpiPen.
Exactly.
Like with him, but yeah, it's nice to know.
In our bakkie that we drive around with, I always have herbs, because it's not to say that you're going to have a problem and that herb is going to be there. So I've got dried herbs that I always have in the bakkie with me.
So would you also chew the dried leaves?
Yes.
Okay.
Or you can make a tea from it. Because a histamine, if something stings you, you have to quickly use an
Yes.
antihistamine, because if you leave it, it's not going to be enough to actually counteract that. So this is just the example over there. If nobody knows what the wasp look like,
Yes, there's a yes.
so that's serious.
Huge.
That's quite a big wasp.
And my dad ended up in ICU for a week.
No, they moor you, eh? No, they're not fun. You know, if they get hold of you, they sort
They
you
just
out.
look
eh?
angry though.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, they look angry, yeah.
Tell him about Gertie's wasp.
Yeah, she got stung in the face here with a wasp. She was just walking, it zapped her right in the face. And our creams that we have, the no, it's the pain and arthritis cream. If you put that on, it actually takes away the swelling and the pain immediately. So when we were on the farm previous December, our one Zulu was busy cutting grass with a tractor. I know there's bees there. We've got a beehive, but they're never a problem. We don't get close to a tractor with him or whatever. That day was extremely hot. Suddenly, all hell broke loose. They started stinging on the tractor. He jumped off the tractor. Luckily, put it in neutral and he jumped. And he was running all over the yard, so I caught him. I didn't get stung by one bee. I don't know why. And then I got him inside the house. The stings all over his body was like maybe 200 stings. He had all over his body. And then we also quite far away from hospitals. And I thought by myself, I told Rudy, let's quickly mix the cancer cream and the pain cream. And I just gave him a rub of everywhere it stings. We just applied that. No swelling, no anaphylactic shock, nothing. 200 bees stung him, roughly. Then the dogs got the brunt of it. They were outside, so the bees don't like dogs. And they start clapping the dogs. So the dogs were running all over the place. So I got them inside the house. So everybody was sitting inside the house looking at the bees. And I did the same with the dogs. I also applied this all over the dogs. And those bees were so aggressive, you cannot believe it. And they just don't leave you alone. Don't mess around with bees. So I found a bee suit in a cupboard, removed the bees, first Googled how to remove bees. And then I was like covered in bees. You cannot believe it. I couldn't see through the visors. Actually, I had to take the bees off like that. But antihistamines, very important. Another antihistamine you can also look at is the marula tree. Marula, everybody knows a marula tree. Exactly. So if you take the inner bark of a marula tree, so you take your knife and you push it into the bark and you break off a piece of bark, there's like a red color. You chew that red color. It takes, it's a,
of the inner bark.
yeah, you push it into, not the outer bark, the red. It must be, you push your knife in, I would say about 4 or 5 millimeters in, and you cut off a piece. You'll see it's like a white and like a red pinkish color. That pink has got the antihistamine in. You only need the size of a 5 rand coin. That's all you need.
And how would you, do you just chew
Chew
it?
it. I'll just chew it.
That's crazy because the celestamine is pink. You know the tablet?
Oh yeah!
It's a
They
pink.
maybe make it from marula trees.
Oh,
Right, and
Well,
then
everything that's made in a science lab comes from
Yeah,
nature in
yeah.
some form.
it does. It actually does. I'm going to share that with you after lunch. I'll share that with you. Then also other tree that you can also use is the baobab tree, kramatatboom, baobab. You know the baobab trees? These ones?
The big trees.
Antihistamine?
The monkey from the Lion King.
Yes.
That's the.
That's also on our course that we're going to discuss the whole baobab tree with you. It's also an anti-malarial tree. So if you use the bark and you make a tea from it, you can stop malaria. We had Zimbabweans working here, and I told them, they saw the fruit, and I told them about this tree. I said, what do I use it for? I said, for malaria. And in that time, his uncle, there's no medical support in Zimbabwe at the moment, and his uncle got malaria, and then he told his uncle, go and get the bark from the baobab tree. And he did. It saved his life.
Which part do you use for the antihistamine?
The bark.
Also the
The
bark,
bark,
inner side or?
Yeah, you take about, I would say about 5 millimeters of the
same
bark.
as the marula.
The same as the marula, yeah. The next one, scorpion. Look at the scorpion. Anybody got stung by a scorpion before?
I found one this size,
Yeah.
white.
Oof.
Dad's farm, this size.
Yeah, they call it a sand scorpion.
It was massive.
Oh, but they're beautiful, eh?
But also, aren't the smaller ones the more are like the deadlier ones?
You get two scorpions. You get your booty day and you get your scorpioni day. Booty day has got small pincers with a thick tail. They are the dangerous ones. You get the one with the big pincers and the thin tail. They're not it's not like a wasp that will sting you. But the booty day has got the one with the fat tail and the small pincers. The reason why they've got small pincers is because their poison is so potent, whatever they sting dies immediately. But your other scorpions have got big pincers and not very powerful stings, so they catch their stuff. They catch their prey. They don't need
This one was
poison.
massive. It was on the farm.
It's like nearly like a light yellowy color. They call it a sand scorpion.
If my boot was standing there and this thing, I put the boot over it. I didn't squash it, I just put the boot over it. And it was sticking out the side.
Yeah, they're massive. They're massive. No, they're massive. They're usually in the northern parts and in the desert parts and stuff. And in the Karoo, you'll find them. Yeah, state level. Yeah, you'll find them in state level. Yeah. But they're very nice to eat, by the way. That's the bushveld prawn. We actually ate quite a lot of scorpions.
How do you prepare it?
You take a thorn. The most humane way to kill them is right in front is their brain. So you take a knife and you just put a knife in it to kill them. And then you actually take just a stick that you sharpen or thorns. And you just like a society, you just put them in them. In the desert survival, there was a lot of scorpions. So we'll catch them like a society throughout the day, carry them with us. And you cut off the last two parts of the sting. That's where the sting is. The last two segments, you cut it off. And tonight in the campfire, we just fry them like a society. If I close your eyes and I give you scorpion or prawns, you will not tell me the difference between the two. They taste exactly the same. Scorpion and prawn. This is bushveld prawn, what we call them. Okay. But if they sting you, flip it. I picked up a tire on the farm. I always wear gloves because I know everything wants to lick, suck and bite you there. So I'm always wearing gloves. So I put my hand in and the scorpion got me on the finger, one of those small ones. Ugh. It's like putting your finger in a fire. How do you actually counteract that poison? Paraffin.
On the sides of
You
sticks.
put your finger in paraffin, and if you get stung on the foot, you put it in like a cold drink, like one of these cold drink tops. This. You put paraffin in there and you put it on the area where it stung you. On our other herb course, on our course, I got a farm in the northern province. She said, you know what, Christmas, my husband was stung by a scorpion, big scorpion here in the bushveld. He was screaming, and I said, she remembered the paraffin. Got some paraffin, put it on there. While she was applying it, he stopped screaming. The pain was gone. It pulls out the poison. It looks like white. It pulls it out. The paraffin pulls it out. So carry a little bit of paraffin always with you, because these things, if you for bees, wasps, or whatever, if you put it there, it draws out that poison out of that area.
But will it help if this is allergic?
Well, it will help to get the poison out of it because it's a poison causing the allergy. And then you also have to give an antihistamine as well. In South Africa, at most places, we have paraffin. There's paraffin nearly everywhere. But just that day that you want paraffin, you won't bloody find the paraffin. You must know how it works. Murphy's Law. Why do we actually talk about the rules about edible insects? We're not going to eat insects, are we? Except you. You eat mupani worms. But they're very nice.
Very nice.
And grasshoppers as well. If you eat grasshoppers,
Yeah,
if you eat
I grew up eating grasshoppers.
you toast them a little bit, they're very
And
nice.
these other insects, I don't know in English what you call it.
The
but
grass
they
creepers.
Oh, that's
usually-
ants.
Usually after the rain.
Yeah, the ants. The rain,
The ants.
big fat ones. Yeah, they're also nice. Yeah.
The termites.
Termites.
Talking about the termites.
Exactly, yeah.
But I've seen people at my work eat grass crickets, those brown crickets.
Yeah. Yeah, you can fry them.
Rand a jar,
Yeah.
but it smells.
You take the grasshoppers and you actually turn the head and you pull out the insides. And you also take thorns and you just make a sausage and you
And the
braai it. Yeah.
grasshoppers, the green ones we don't eat. We
The
don't
one with
eat
the
around.
colours.
Yeah.
The one with the,
And the one with the colors. So we
you'll
eat
see
them
the
around.
golden rules apply. They don't eat the ones with the colours because that says I'm poisonous.
Yeah.
They eat the brown ones. Okay. Clever girl, this one. Okay. So the golden rules apply because we want to know if an insect is poisonous because a child will eat the insect. And then you will have to know is it poisonous or not, or an animal will eat the insect. I was visiting a friend of mine one day and the Jack Russell, they're always naughty. Yeah, they're always doing whatever they shouldn't do. And it was eating a shongololo. And shongololos have cyanide. And I told him, don't let the dog eat it. He says, man, he's eating it all the time. I said, your dog is going to vomit all over your place and is probably going to die tonight. No, he says, the damn dog is irritating me. I said, damn it. And this dog was actually quite sick and it vomited all over his bedding. It's karma. You don't want to listen to me, so your dog's going to vomit all over your bedding. That's what happened there. So again, if a parent will come to you and say, my child just ate this, then you know, is this thing poisonous or not? Then you know how to handle it. Okay. And also, if they ate it, then you use activated charcoal. Because some of these insects have poisons and you use activated charcoal. If they sting you, you need an antihistamine. If you ingest them, then you actually use activated charcoal as well. Okay, so stuff with stings, it's like mushrooms. You stay away from them. Don't mess with them. I looked at his programs of Bear Grylls, the survival expert. And he messed around with bees and they got him right in the head. Kunk. Swell up like this. Don't mess with bees. Okay, then we've got insects with bad smells. There's a good example. Yeah, shongololos. Yeah, yeah. So if you look at that shongololo, you see over there, shongololo, and then also the stink bugs.
But also, even if you weren't close enough to smell them, the black of their bodies and the red and yellow of their legs, it's like anything in nature, even frogs. You
Exactly.
don't touch
Contrasting
brightly
colours.
coloured frogs.
Exactly, because they've got poisons on their skin. But people don't know it. You see, a dog will go and hop them, or a child will maybe touch them or chew on them or whatever. They do stuff like that, you know. So then you have to know. So if you look at these two over here, I've got samples, examples over here as well. You can see this one. There's a typical shongololo. You can send it around. And there's a stink bug. But also look at the colors. Look at the contrasting colors. Please don't drop this. It will break if you drop
But
it.
the normal stinkvogel, groen stink.
All of them. If they've got a triangle, look at the stink bugs. They all have a triangle. That's all stink bugs. Okay? There's some of the stink bugs that they do eat. In China, there is a type of stink bug. Yeah. But they love it. They eat that specific stink bug. But if they've got bright colors like that, that stink bug is like a brown color. And I had a stink bug flying into my mouth once. And man, damn it. You know, it is just like bad. It's like every time you burp, it's a stink bug. You know? So, not nice. And I bit it also a little bit. And it exploded in my mouth. They've got chemicals in them to repel. And also at the same time, look at the contrasting colors. We're going to get to that in a moment. Look at that stink bug that you have over there. It's like yellow and black. It's like a signboard that says, don't touch me, I'm going to moor you. Nature uses contrasting colors, and we'll get to that now in a moment, to warn you. So now, the shongololo, this one over here, contains cyanide. Remember that one fruit, the strychnine, this one's got cyanide in. A lot of our African culture use this to poison people with. That is where they get their poison, is from this.
To poison people so that they can die.
Yeah, I'll tell you the story now. You see now what happens, for example, a female, an African female, has got a man that has got too much testosterone in his body and he loves other females. So he walks around, he's got a lot of other girls. Then she will go to the Sangoma and tell the Sangoma, listen here, my husband is naughty. He walks around all over the place and he's got a lot of cherries over here. I want him at home. Then they will go to the Sangoma and he'll give his wife muti. They will actually take this Shongololo because it's got a lot of legs. And the man is walking around all over. So they used a lot of legs to give him this medicine. So they grind it up, they kill it, they dry it and they grind it up and they give the man the medicine, the muti, in his food. Because it's got cyanide, it affects your nervous system and your circulation. You don't want to bloody walk because you cannot walk. It actually numbs your nervous system. So then you get some men that the testosterone is more than the brains. They keep on walking around, so the females give them more, then they kill them.
But
Okay?
that's also the thing that they use it's used in war times if you get caught, because if you have enough of it, it'll instantly
It
kill
will.
you, poisons
Yeah.
you, like makes you fast at the mouth.
No, definitely. No, this is serious stuff.
Then kill them.
Yeah. A lot of people in Africa, in the African culture, was killed by this Shongololo because they put it as muti. Okay, so they use it for maybe for good purposes. They want to use it to keep the husband at home, but at the old end you kill this person because it is cyanide. Cyanide is serious stuff. One professor was an expert in America on Shongololos. He collected them. And when they get upset, the Shongololos, they release cyanide gas. And when they release cyanide gas, look at the animal. If they bite the Shongololo, they will jump away and look at it like this because it releases that cyanide gas. It's only this Jack Russell that was just stupid. He just kept on eating the thing. If I collect insects in the veld, I always catch a Shongololo and I put it in a bottle and I shake it. And then if I catch another insect that I want to preserve, I put it in a bottle and that insect dies. Like a moth or a caterpillar or anything that you put in a bottle, it just dies. Because the Shongololo, when you irritate it, it releases that cyanide. And you kill all the other insects that you put in there.
Does it have any effect on the reproductive organ?
On a human?
I mean, when they use it as a muti
Yes.
on the husband, does it have any effect on their reproductive?
I think how the body actually works is like if you have pain or you've got discomfort, you don't want to have sex. So I think indirectly it will have an effect on your body as well. Because the body takes priorities. If you've got a nice, strong, healthy body, you want to have sex. If you're tired and you feel moody or whatever, you don't want to have sex. So I'm sure it will have an indirect effect on the libido, I would say.
This is not
Because-
necessarily something that a serial killer should know, right?
The amount of plants,
It's interesting because a lot of men, they
I can see you all-
sangomas,
yeah,
when their husbands are cheating.
this is the
So
problem.
we must tell them what the sangomas are giving.
No, this is the problem.
Do you
So
want
to
to
help, just to
or do you
help
want a
them.
husband that
If you give somebody this poison and they die from it, they cannot test for it.
That's exactly what I.
It's untraceable. It's untraceable.
It is untraceable.
No, it's untraceable. There's one plant that I share this with you because you're all herbalists. You're guys that are not here to come and see how you can kill people. I'm sharing this with you, but there's another plant, and if I find it, it doesn't always grow in the veld. It's a plant that actually causes a lesion on your heart. If you drink it as a tea, it won't kill you immediately. It causes a lesion on the heart. And then, the first time you have exercise or get excited or whatever, you get a heart attack, you're gone. They cannot trace it. So if people say, yeah, but plants are so wonderful and they're not poisonous, they're lying. They are, there's incredibly poisonous plants. Oh, there's vicious plants out there, so, and insects. So this is the one, and there's no taste on it, eh? If they grind it down and they put it in the food and you consume it, you don't taste it. It just looks like,
So you say that cyanide
Just
affects
keep on
your
laughing.
nervous system.
yeah,
So over time, you're killing the nerves.
yes,
And that's breathing,
Exactly.
it's everything.
yeah,
Okay.
they just die. So it's serious stuff, this, eh?
And then they go back to the same sangomas when their husbands have died.
To get some muti to get a lover.
And then the
Yeah.
sangomas say somebody killed their husbands. They don't
Yeah.
say it's this.
Yeah. But you must also know we get different sangomas. Some sangomas has got a bad reputation. But the thing is, your real sangomas, that's real sangomas, are actually very good people. They are nature conservationists, they are very good doctors, they are really nice people. This other stuff is like, I don't call them sangomas, I call them witch doctors. Because they are working with the devil. That's my feeling, so real sangomas are actually very nice people, they are very close to nature, they are very close to the spirit world and stuff like that. We're really talking about witch doctors over here. Really bad people. Right. The next one, insects with contrasting colors and also slow moving insects. Okay, so insects that move very slowly. You can see there's a dung beetle and a grasshopper and a spider. Look at all that colors. It's like a signboard. Send it around and have a look at it. And you'll have a look. The contrasting colors tell you. There's a sample of a dung beetle. You can see there.
Oh, I love them. They're so pretty.
Oh, they're beautiful. But poisonous, eh?
No, I didn't know that either.
No, you won't eat them. Because the thing is, remember when an animal, remember the grasshoppers that you always ate? They were quick. But the ones that you cannot eat are very slow. Why? Because they've got they've got poison. So they don't want to get away.
Eat me. I dare
If they like a flippant grasshopper with a turbocharger, you go, then you can eat that one.
If you can catch it.
If you can catch it.
What is it called, koringkriek?
Ja, koringkrieke kan jy nie eet nie. Hulle slow moving.
Yeah, but mice,
They call it a Parktown prawn.
But why would you want to eat one of those?
And they're so ugly.
It looks like.
Oh.
as far as I know, it secretes
Yes.
Yeah.
like a
Stinks.
It's a nasty
a
creature.
yellow slime.
Yeah.
And that actually, it's like acid, it burns holes.
But also now, look at it, it's a slow moving
Yeah.
insect. That's a golden rule. You cannot eat it, it's slow moving.
And a mole cricket, the thing that looks like eats all the roots from your grass.
Oh, the
Those
mole
are
crickets,
nasty. They
yeah.
literally look like
Yeah.
aliens.
Yeah.
But if you look at them as well, they're actually quite fast.
Yes, they are.
You can eat them, they are edible, yeah.
Yeah, but those brown ones. You're talking about brown ones.
Yeah, the mole cricket. They've got like little
Yes,
feet in the
yes,
front,
they
yeah.
got these little like.
Yeah.
Why would eat them?
Yeah, the mole
They
crickets,
like
yeah.
20 rand a
Yeah,
jar.
yeah, they're edible, they're actually nice.
Yeah.
And then you can look at these two bugs, they've got contrasting colors. The one bug, the smaller one, can I just have that for a moment? Look at the smaller one. They call it a CMR beetle.
But that's a horrible beetle.
Yes,
It destroys your flowers, it destroys.
yes, and yes.
Oh,
Now-
look at the bottom. Oh my god.
It's beautiful, eh?
Look at that.
But look at that colors. It warns you, it says, hey, don't mess with me. So if you eat that one, you're going to pick up the CMR beetle, the one on that you have the small one. The CMR stands for Cape Mounted Rifleman. In the Cape, earlier years, the army was Cape Mounted Riflemen. They wore black and yellow.
Wow.
Okay? And the CMR beetle, if you bite one of those beetles, you're dead within 10 minutes. You're gone. You're gone. You're dead. That's how poisonous they are, the CMR beetles.
But the Cape Mounted rifles are still active.
Are they? Oh. Well, they've got that yellow and black. That's where the Cape Mounted rifle
What
come from.
interesting.
I don't know. It's just I've got a whole collection of those. A lot of bugs.
Should label your little glass.
I actually didn't actually put it in the blocks myself. I
This is a
actually
horrible little critter.
no, they're terrible. No, they're terrible, crappy stuff. So, if you've got that contrasting colors, and that's why I said they don't eat grasshoppers that's got different colors. You get these grasshoppers, they lift up their wings and like
Locusts.
locusts. And they're like red and so on. You don't eat them, they look ugly. But if they're brown, you get these big brown ones and green ones. But they're fast. And they've got legs like this and they kick the hell out of you. You can eat them. So, so anything that contrasting colors. So if you ever see anybody that comes with half a beetle like this, and my child ate this or my dog ate this, it's a warning sign. Okay. And that's the main reason for I don't want you guys to go and eat beetles.
So would you also give activated charcoal for
Yes.
insects?
Absolutely, yeah. And because that's
I wrote that down.
yeah, in the hospitals, because these beetles, the toxins that they have is a heart. It will affect your heart and it will actually stop your heart. So activated charcoal is for exactly if they sting you, you use something else. But if you ingest them, different story. Then you actually... Okay, then the last one is avoid insects that feed on poisonous plants. You see, now we're getting back to poisonous plants again. These insects eat on poisonous plants because that is where they get their poisons from. Okay. Now, we took quite a lot of time to actually share this with you. This is very valuable. This is the foundation of your whole course, is this golden rules. If you follow these golden rules, you will never ever in your life you will make a mistake. Okay. Any questions? Everybody very happy. Now lunchtime you can walk around over here and see, look at the plants around you over here and see, do they have the golden rules? Okay.